welcome to today's episode of Welcome to SCAN. I'm your host, Tracey Wolfman. I am the administrator and CEO of We Care Adult Care located in Middletown. I am also a board member of SCAN. SCAN stands for Social Community Activities Network, and this TV series provides information for active adults. And today I have a special guest on my show, and this is Evan Kaltman. Welcome to the show, Evan.
Thank you, Tracey. It's great to be here.
You're welcome. The reason why I'm so excited to have you here today is because your service, I believe, is invaluable. And I think most people are unaware of what you have to offer and the benefit that a lot of us could be educated on. So Evan opened the New Jersey office for Veterans Home Care in 2009. His title is Managing Partner of Veterans Home Care. Veterans Home Care provides home care and/or adult daycare to wartime veterans or their surviving spouses, and helps them access a government benefit to pay for it. The great thing about what you do is walk people through that timeline of what they need to do instead of trying to battle with the government for a year or two and figure out all the paperwork. So to me, that is one of the best things that Veterans Home Care can do for our community. Now, from your points, Evan, what exactly would you explain to somebody that Veterans Home Care is all about?
Sure. Well, first let me say, Tracey, and I've known Tracey almost since we opened the office here in 2009. Right. And I've been to your facility, We Care Adult Daycare, which is one of my favorites in the state of New Jersey. It's just a great place to be.
Thank you.
So I'm a big fan, and and we've been friends over the years. So thanks for having me today.
You're welcome.
So Veterans Home Care. Now remember, we're a private company. Right. And we were started by a caregiver back in 2003. Who
I actually had the opportunity to meet when Bonnie and her husband.
She's on this flyer right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Came and explains her journey and why she opened up Veterans Home Care. So tell us.
Yeah, I mean, and just real quickly, she's the caregiver of a surviving spouse of a veteran who at some point had needed some long-term care assistance, home care. She wanted to stay at home.
Right.
And she learned what most people often learn at that point when you need it, is that Medicare doesn't cover it. Your health care insurance doesn't cover it. Big surprise. So what do you do? She couldn't afford to pay for it privately at the time, and she really needed the help. So finally, one person said to her, "Hey, isn't your mom a surviving spouse of a veteran?" And she says, "Yeah." And
and I don't think that generation even understands that they're surviving spouses. They don't think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And they say, well, I'm surviving spouse of a veteran. So what does that mean? I'm eligible for a VA benefit. She would have never thought to even ask. So somebody mentioned it, and after it was mentioned to her, then she did a little investigating, but she wasn't really able to figure out what to do or how to do it.
Right.
So long story short, by the time she figured out how to submit an application, her mom was already put on hospice. She moved her in to live with her, and it was really too late. And she didn't get to utilize the benefit to help her mom. So the energy and frustration
that she experienced
of her own personal experience caused her to say, you know what, I'm going to start a company, and I'm going to help people that were in my situation. And that's really our business model, is to assist veterans and surviving spouses, help determine if they're eligible for a VA benefit, commonly referred to as aid and attendance, and if we believe they have a good case, to assist them with the process of obtaining the benefit, helping them with the application process, getting the documents together, and then submitting the application for them, and then providing the care that the benefit covers the cost of. And we do that by subcontracting to local home care and daycare companies, agencies around the country. And that's how we provide home care and daycare nationally. And we even cover the cost of the facility or of the daycare or home care that the benefit will pay for while we're waiting for the VA to process, approve, and pay the claim, so that the claimant or the family of doesn't have to lay out any of their own out-of-pocket funds.
Right, and I don't think most people understand that, because they think there's this whole process that they have to go through, and then they have to pay for it, which you pick up the cost.
Yeah, we're essentially loaning them the cost of the home care while we wait for the VA to adjudicate and pay the claim so that we can use that on the application as an expense, and then they pay back the company after they receive the funds from the VA, and that's our job, is to make sure that happens.
And then as they go through the process, then the VA picks up payment and they get the service and they continue to pay.
Right, so once we submit the application to the VA, it takes several months for the VA to process, approve, and pay the claim. Of course, they have a lot of claims in the queue.
Right.
But if we submit the claim as fully developed, which we do, the claim is generally adjudicated in about 4 months, 120 days. That's, you know, give or take, which is lightning speed, really, for a government agency of that size that has that much volume of claims. So, and really from 4 months when we first started, or when I first started 8 years ago, it was more like 9 to 18 months.
Wow.
So the VA has done a lot to improve their process. And we submit our claims as fully developed, which means it has all the evidence needed and they can start working on it as soon as they get it.
Right, so you're putting in what we would call a clean application. So they're not going back and asking for other documentation. Right,
and that's where the time delay could come into play. So we avoid those time delays. So in the time it takes for the VA to process, approve, and pay the claim, we'll provide the care and provide funding to pay for it, because when the VA does adjudicate the claim, they pay it retroactively to the claimant.
Yes.
For those previous months. And they can use those funds then to pay us back for the home care that we've provided, or daycare.
Right. So the benefit for people living in the community, active adults who either need service or they have a spouse that needs service, they can call Veterans Home Care. You can help them through that process.
Yeah, sure. We actually, in the last year or two, we put an enrollment team in place in our St. Louis office, because people like me and Bob, we're on the road a lot, so we don't want to keep people waiting.
Correct.
So we have this enrollment number, and I'll give you the number, but so people can call anytime and just see if they're eligible, see if they meet the requirements to be eligible for the benefit. And if they need it now, you know, they need it now. But if they don't and they just want to see if they're eligible, then, you know, they can use that information for future reference. And I tell you, it's all about knowing what's available.
What's available.
What's available. And I don't know if I have time to slip in a quick story.
Yes, we would love to hear a quick story.
A quick story is we had a surviving spouse of a veteran that was referred to us 2 years after a devastating stroke that left her bedbound.
Wow.
2 years she was in and out of a hospital and rehab, yet nobody referred her to us because they didn't know. They didn't know. You know, we're only...
So, if you're over 65, like me,
and active and fairly healthy,
being active and healthy alone will not protect you.
Remember, the immune system weakens with age.
And if you're over 65, ask your doctor about your vaccination options.
we want you to be healthy and active.
Welcome back to SCAN. I want to take this opportunity to thank my guest here, Bob Singaglies, who is the Northeast Territory Manager for Veterans Home Care.
That's right.
Veterans Home Care was founded in 2003, and it helps veterans or their surviving spouses with a service that's called aid and attendance. And I am happy that Bob here is the representative for Monmouth County.
Thank you.
And he is going to tell us a little bit after I tell you his accomplishments. Bob came to Veterans Home Care with his dynamic personality and warmth in 2014 as an accomplished sales and marketing professional. He tells me that he finds it rewarding to wake up knowing that I'm going to help someone today. Bob's passion for helping isn't just limited to veterans and their spouses. He also finds it very rewarding to educate professionals in the healthcare and social work about the VA pension with aid and attendance, because so many people do not know about this, that they are entitled to.
They don't at all.
Bob is the son of a Korean War veteran, and he relates to the veterans and has mastered his role, subject matter, as an expert at Vet Assist. And that's why it's such a pleasure to always speak with you when I have somebody in need or somebody in the community that needs your services, and you are on it as quick as a flash of lightning.
Tracy,
so thank you for being on the show, and tell us what you're doing.
Well, Tracy, first off, thank you for inviting me here.
You're welcome.
I can't tell you. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. Okay, I've had many opportunities in my past that I have done a successful job. I've been in, let's say, the sales experience all my adult life.
Right.
But back in 2014, real quick, back in 2013, I was doing merchant services. I don't even know if you know what that is, but that's credit card processing, okay? And I was even making more money with that opportunity. But I got called from a headhunter about a company called Veterans Home Care. And I guess my experience in the past, they must have liked what they saw on my resume, and they invited me in here.
Wow.
Well, the only thing I could say, Tracy, is this. I wish I was with Veterans Home Care from 2003 when it first started.
When they started.
I go to bed every night, and I kid you not.
This is heartwarming.
When I leave a veteran or a surviving spouse's home, and I know I have helped them, okay, I am just in awe of our company and what we do, okay? And just to give you an idea of the paperwork that's involved.
I've seen the paperwork, and I know what you request.
It's horrible.
It's horrible, and somehow you make it easy. But
well,
tell us.
thank you. But I mean, I'll get a referral from your organization. I'll get a referral from the home care providers of a veteran or a surviving spouse in need of home care. The problem is that they can't pay for the home care.
Correct.
Okay, they just don't have the money to pay it. We don't want them to drain whatever is left of their savings in the first place.
Right.
Okay, so the VA, and I have to make this very clear, we are not the VA. Okay, we are a private organization that helps process the application for aid and attendance, okay? And we will loan them a zero-interest loan while the application is pending at the VA's office. That could be really daunting in itself.
It could be, and who else would do that?
And who else would do that? Well, thank you, that's right, exactly. Who else would do that? So, once we know that they qualify, I go to their home. This is the best part of my job.
I would say so, because you're learning everything about them.
I go to their home, I sit down with the veteran or the surviving spouse or their adult children. And we go over the process. It's a 30-page application, Tracy. Okay, and we go over the process, and we take all of the pressure away from them of getting this money to help them pay for the home care. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, this is too good to be true. Well, it is true.
You're changing lives every day.
That's what I keep saying. I say this all the time. The owner of the company, her name is Bonnie Lederman.
I had the great opportunity to meet her. She came to my office.
She's fantastic.
To tell her story is very hard.
It really is. And I love talking with Bonnie. Now, Bonnie originally is from Brooklyn. And if you can't tell by now with my accent, I'm from North Jersey. Okay, so we get into it once in a while, her and I. And I end up always saying to Bonnie, Bonnie, I wish I met you back in 2003 because this is my passion. This is what I love to do. When I leave a veteran's home or a surviving spouse's home, and I'll get a hug from them, or I'll get invited back for holidays, for dinners, or whatever. I can't tell you the joy.
But you've got to see the difference that you, by implementing these services, and what it has meant to this person to have a quality of life, and whether it be in home care or attending adult daycare.
That is correct.
They can now have a life that didn't exist before.
And not only just that, their children, who are their caregivers as well, they themselves are in. I get calls every day from one of them saying, thank you for this. Thank you so much for this. Okay? But
it's a blessing.
I have a quick story. I hope I have enough time to tell this quick story. It's a funny story.
I have a question to ask you too.
Well, please ask me your question there, because I can ramble on here.
Really quickly, because I want to hear the story. But are there limitations that people would not qualify even though they have all the documentation? So I just want to throw that out there.
Great question. Yeah, unfortunately, with all government types of benefits, there is an income asset limit. Okay. So the older, it's not like Medicaid where you're drained pretty much to zero.
Correct.
Okay. From 90s on up, you know, they first off, they could still own their home. The home is off limits. Okay. So this will not affect their home. This will not affect one automobile if they own one. Okay. But it does it does go by how much money they have in savings, which could be as little as $25,000, okay? And as far as income goes, yeah, there's limitations on income too. But Tracey, most of the veterans and surviving spouses that I meet have Social Security and a small pension.
Right, because that generation that we're dealing with, that's typically...
And as far as the qualification and all that stuff is complicated and not for this show.
No, it's not.
But I take that all out of their hands. That's what Evan and Veterans Home Care has taught me. Okay? And I do go around to all the referrals that I get, and I qualify them. I process their application for them. I upload it, and I'm not done with them. Once the home care is in place from one of our providers, I'm in touch with them, or they're in touch with me about, you know, about the services that we provide for them.
So we're talking about $25,000 in liquid assets.
Well, liquid assets, but that's for 90 and up. The older you are,
I'm just trying
the
to get
less
a ballpark
it is.
To give
The ballpark would be from 70s, okay, their 70s to 90s, anywhere between $55,000 and $25,000. But those parameters can change as well. That's why I don't want to say a hard number.
I just want to get a ballpark. So somebody that has $100,000 in the bank wouldn't be somebody that we would be qualified for.
That is correct. But
that middle income person is definitely qualified
Absolutely.
for this.
Middle income, very, like as we say, limited assets, limited income. Those are the words that I always use.
Because it's a benefit for the veteran and or the spouse to obtain home care.
That's correct.
Or adult daycare services and pay.
Absolutely.
Now let's hear your story that you want to tell us that we got.
Well, the work stories is because I'll get, and we all get at Veterans Home Care, we all get somebody that will say, wow, this is too good to be true. Yeah. I can't believe you guys are doing this. So I do want to have a quick story. Hopefully I have enough time to share it with you. I had a surviving spouse referral. And I had their daughter call me up. And after I explained our referral, our program to them, she kind of insulted me a little bit.
Right, because she was very hesitant, I'm sure.
Not only hesitant, but skeptic. She says, this sounds like, and I hate to say this, but she goes, this sounds like a Bernie Madoff deal.
Oh, God.
And I was upset over that. I'm like, I'm taking this personally, you know, because like I know what I do for people.
Because you're trying to make a difference.
I know what I do for people. And I know, as I said, I get hit, my head hits the pillow with a clear conscience.
Right.
All right. To make a long story short, I said to this lady, please do your due diligence. Look us up. Go to our website. Call these contacts. Call the providers that referred you to me. Call the Better Business Bureau. Call whoever you want to call. 3 weeks later, she apologized. She says, I am so sorry. And today, I'm very happy to say that this lady and her mother are a client of Veterans Home Care.
That is...
and that was this, those are the types of stories that I get. I had another story real quick that the lady, she qualified over a year ago, but she wanted to try to do it on herself.
Why would she do that?
You tell me. So her son calls me up. She says, he says to me, Bob, I can't believe I didn't go with you a year ago. They're now clients of Veterans Home Care today because we help them out with that stuff.
Right, because it's of no cost to them.
No cost to them.
They don't understand
No out of pocket. Don't ever say the word free. It's not for free. There's no out of pocket cost. They're using the VA benefit to pay for their home care.
So we're going to. So I just want everyone to know about Veterans Home Care. I thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Tracey.
I would just like to give the audience Veterans Home Care. You have the website.
Yep, absolutely. The toll free. It's what we call our enrollment. Our enrollment process is. The number is 888-314-6075, or you can go to our website, which is veteranshomecare.com.
Okay. It's been a pleasure having you. We're going to take a short break here on Welcome to Scan. We will be right back, and I thank you so much for joining us today. Stay tuned.
So, if you're over 65, like me,
and active and fairly healthy,
being active and healthy alone will not protect you.
Remember, the immune system weakens with age.
And if you're over 65, ask your doctor about your vaccination options.
we want you to be healthy and active.
Welcome back. I'm here with Pat Bowes, the Executive Director of SCAN, and I am happy to have you as my guest on the show today.
Well, I'm excited to have you on this show going forward as the new host of Welcome to SCAN. So welcome. I'm really thrilled that, especially being a board member and a wonderful entrepreneur, that you're able to take this wonderful class to another level. And we have so much going on in 2018, so
yes,
let me share that with you.
We have a lots going on.
So the new semester will be starting January 8th, and it'll be running until April 6th, I believe. So we have 13 weeks of new types of classes, are regular, but also lots of what we call one and done, meaning different topics. And we're talking about astronomy, and we're talking about history, and all of these new topics coming down the pike.
And our active seniors are very excited to be participating in these because the classes are filling up now.
They are. Well, the program will become, yes, they are. And the other stuff that's happening is that the first time we're having our own vacation expo. We're working with Excel Travel.
That is so exciting.
We've been trying to do this for a few years, but it'll be on February 10th upstairs in the main lobby of the mall. We have, I think, 30 vendors who will be coming to talk about wonderful travel experiences that people can learn more about and get information. I believe we're giving away a trip.
Where's the trip to?
I think it's Club Med. And
nice.
So I hope people come and register for that. And then the other is, I do think that we have a local radio show that's going to be broadcasting live from the show. So we're
very exciting. Very
really exciting.
So the members of SCAN and non-members of SCAN, people in the community,
general public,
can come and learn about all kinds of different trips that they might be able to take and ask the questions that they always wanted to a live person.
Absolutely.
That is just a fabulous opportunity for any of us.
So it's February 10th from 11 to 3 upstairs, and we'll be there in case people want to talk to us too. The other thing that's happening in the winter semester is we're having our first evening classes. First. So people have been asking, because you know that everyone has to work longer than expected.
Yes.
And people say, well, we would love to come to class if it was at night. So we listen to our customer, and I believe starting March 26th, will be, for 6 weeks, we'll have evening classes on Wednesday evenings.
And they'll be held here at SCAN.
They will be. And I know that we're having yoga class, and that's one of our most popular class. And then we'll have, I believe, an art class and a few other informational kinds of opportunities during those sessions.
So it's going to run for the whole 13 weeks, so the classes?
No, it'll only run for 6 weeks to see how it goes, and it'll start in March, and then it'll be ending the end of April.
That is just wonderful news, and I guess the response is going to be coming in as good feedback that we're listening to the people that attend SCAN.
Hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. What else is going on at SCAN for the new year?
So again, as you know, we're not only located here at the hub at the Monmouth Mall, we're also in Freehold Borough, and our senior center, which is located at the YMCA of Weston Monmouth's Community Center on Center Street, is open every Tuesday from 10 to 2, and that's a traditional center where we serve lunch, and we also have exercise classes, painting classes, so people should kind of stop in and see what we have to offer. And then we will be going back to Ocean County by popular demand. We'll be doing about 6 to 8 lunch and learns in Ocean County in 2018.
Wow. So SCAN, Social Communities Activity Network for Active Adults, is expanding. The demand is there. People have requested these services. Now we have our outreach centers. Any chance of adding more outreach centers?
So yes, we're developing relationships in Kingsburg with the Bayshore Community Center. We might be there quarterly. We'll be in Asbury Park with St. Augustine's Church to do some of our SAT programs in the near future.
That is wonderful. And with this, we hope that all of you come out in the community and try out some of our classes here at SCAN. And we would like to thank you for joining us today here at our Social Communities Activities Network for Active Adults. And thank you for being on the show today, Pat. Thank you for having me as the host.
You're welcome.
And I look forward to all the great events that are going to be happening in 2018 with expanding our membership and everything that's going on to be successful for our new year.
Thank you.